I was wondering, what inspires you as a writer to write in so many genres of movies and television? Because you've done like horror, fantasy, western, sci-fi. I mean, I was just wondering what's your inspiration behind that about it?
You know, excuse me, when I was a kid, my family used to make fun of me all the time because, well, they just did. But one of the reasons was that I loved every movie I saw. All of them, equally. No matter what. Oh my God, and then he kills Jaws with a power line, and it's just as good as the first one. I just loved it. And that's the thing, is that I really do. I think, you know, my education was very much divided by genre. The great classes I took were musicals, westerns, noir, and so understanding those genres as well as I was able to with the teachers I had really hit home how they worked in a way that really spoke to me. But at the end of the day, you know, I just love movies. I just love stories, and I love every aspect of it. I mean, anybody can tell that when I'm writing something that's horror, it's going to be funny, and when I'm writing something that's dramatic, someone's going to sing, and I'm just, because I also have AD. Hey, it's not funny, okay?
My favorite characters of yours are always the evil ones, like Lila Morgan. How do you write your evil characters so they're still like relatable and likable to your audiences?
Well, everybody loves villains for one thing. But the thing that hit me was Willem Dafoe. I find very often actors articulate things as well or better than writers do about the process. And somebody asked him when he had done Last Temptation of Christ, and right after To Live and Die in LA, what do you like better, playing a hero or a villain? And he said, there is no difference, everybody thinks they're righteous. And for me, that was like, click moment. You know, if they believe what they are doing, if they believe what they are saying, if they are not just there to be wrong, then they're going to be interesting. And because they're evil, they're going to be fun. So you take the combination of the reality of the fact that not any one of us is just one thing, and nobody is pure evil except for a couple of guys, or pure good except for me. And remember how I invented TV? And then you mix that up. It makes a fun dish. I will say, a big moment for me was when I wrote the scene where Angel has slept with Buffy for the first time, and then in his evil acts like he's just a cad blowing her off. And honestly, I put down my pen in amazement. It was like, I had no idea I was such a douche bastard. I couldn't believe that I could even have him say these things. He was so awful, and I was having so much fun with it. We all want that release. We all want to be a little bit evil. Or we want the license to be evil. A little bit.
This is going on Facebook status later. First, I want to thank you for making such a strong female role growing up too with Buffy, and then your astonishing X-Men series is the reason why I love comics today. With all of your amazing things, because you have said you're awesome before, I'm just wondering, what are you most proud of? Like, when you look back on your life, what is going to really stick out to you?
I assume we're talking about the work. You know, hopefully it's something I haven't written yet, would be my first answer. But there are certain things that they revolve. Obviously, for example, The Body, I think is the best episode of television. But there are things, particularly in Astonishing X-Men, where I hit on some truths about humanity that I didn't understand until I wrote them. And I think that's the thing, you know, whether or not stuff lives on years from now, whether or not 5 people read it, or in my case sometimes as many as 5,000. It's the things where you write something and you find something out while you're writing it, when the characters start teaching you. And for me, Astonishing X-Men particularly Emma's story, her arc, as well as the Danger arc that comes before it, is about the idea of people always working at cross purposes, that basically just through consciousness, but also through the structure of our society, we are told 2 completely different things. We are given 2 different directives that we are constantly trying to accomplish. And that kind of confusion and dissonance and self-sabotage, to me, is the essence of what makes us human, and in my case, incredibly pathetic. And I think that, you know, I honestly didn't understand that until I was writing a comic book about it. So those are the things that really have really stuck with me, are the things where I started to grow up a little bit, because my characters helped me to.
Hi, Joss. I like that you've written so many female protagonists, and I'd like to know if there are differences in the way that female protagonists are received in the various media in which you work, not so much by fans as by the industry.
Well, you know, when Buffy had been on for about 3 years, we started pitching the Buffy animated series that never went, and literally got, well, she's got to have a male counterpart who's just as cool as she is, or no one will watch it. And you kind of go, really? And I think we've moved past that, but you keep, you know, you're always going to get this reaction against it. Until recently, you know, no female action-driven movie, you know, no female star in an action movie. It can't happen. They won't sell. There can certainly never be any Hunger Games. Oh, now it's different, you know, and that's great. Also because Jennifer Lawrence is awesome. See you tomorrow. So, you know, the industry will change its mind when the public, you know, makes them. But in terms of comics, I would say, you know, that's a much, you know, a much more fertile field. I will also say that I have been to Comic-Con for more than a decade, and every time I go to the floor, I go with the intention of buying a cool statue of a female, and I have yet to find one that doesn't look like a porn star. I was walking the floor yesterday, and I was like, somebody needs to start a little, like, maquette business that has cool, iconic poses for women that don't look like they're breaking their spines and might be, dare I say, clad. I mean, there's a male version of that, of being over-muscular and striking weird poses and stuff, but honestly, it seems really late in the game for there to be nothing but cheesecake down there for the people to be buying and for the kids to be looking at.